Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. Previously, Phoenix scraped by a hair, and managed to convince everyone for a second shot at using the lockets to slot them into the mechanism in the bell tower. Sure enough, it made a staircase appear, and who should be up there but Kira. It seems that Phoenix's theory that there was a second witch at that tower who was framing Isabella might be correct. But just as soon as we found her, it cut away to Layton and Luke, who are now at the very top of the Storyteller's Tower. And guys, I feel like we're this close to getting some huge answers. I'm excited. Let's go. This is where we left off, this tranquil moonlit garden. But we need to head inside. Ooh. Yep, this is definitely a children's room. This appears to be a child's room. It certainly looks that way. From its condition, I'd say it hasn't been used for some time. Presumably, it was used by Isabella as a child. Right, so this is where Isabella grew up. Something pretty big must have happened to make her leave home so young. I wonder how Isabella and the storyteller used to get on together. Isabella is a young lady of strong conviction and of kind heart. I'm certain that's because she grew up with a fine home environment. In other words, I'm sure she and her father must have spent some quality time here together. Yeah, I have a feeling you're right about that. For Isabella, this place must be full of precious memories. I almost feel like we're intruding, coming in here like this. But Luke, we have no choice if we wish to save Isabella. Yes, I suppose that's true. When you put it like that, I guess she wouldn't mind even if she knew. Is it just me or is there someone in that bed? Also, magnifying glass turned blue. That's interesting. But, yeah, this is a gorgeous room. I love the rainbow gradient wall. Like, shoot, man. How do you even paint that? This wall is filled with artwork from top to bottom, and not a speck of dust in sight. It looks as if the room is just the way Isabella left it back when she left home. The paintings on the wall certainly give this room a rather charming feel. This painting sure does make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it, Professor? An apple tree. Okay, surely that apple tree has no relation to Eve the cat, right? You never know. Maybe this game was the Bibble all along. Hey, look at all those stuffed animals and toys. Whoever made these stuffed animals appears to have put quite their heart and soul into the craftsmanship. A bunny and a bear. I had stuffed animals when I was a kid. I had Miss Bunny and Mr. Beaver. Good times. I still have them, they're in my closet. Look, Professor, that door over there looks like the way forward. Indeed. But first of all, let's investigate this room a little, shall we? Yeah. I think that's 2 hint coins. Or was that 3? I don't really care either way. Oh! That's 3. Now, who are you? That's either a stuffed animal or a desiccated corpse. Crikey! Professor, behind that curtain, there's someone there? Ah! The mysterious figure turned out to be just a doll. Phew, that's a relief. My heart was in my mouth. Isabella must have played with this doll as a child. Huh? What's this? Look, Professor, there's a child's picture book here. The title is The First Story. Ooh. It would appear to be a handmade children's picture book. Looks like there's a witch on the cover. I wonder if it was written especially for Espella. It may well have been. Evidently, a great deal of loving care has been put into the writing and illustrations. There was a bad witch in the town. All of the carrots in the field disappeared, and all the money in the bank was turned into pumpkins. The people of the town had to put up with all kinds of mischief from the witch. They didn't know what to do. Then, one day, a brave young girl appeared and said to the townsfolk, "When the witch uses witchcraft, she always uses a big stick, doesn't she? So if we take away her stick, we'll be able to stop her." After hearing this, the people of the town set a trap for the witch and managed to capture her. At her trial, the bad witch said this to the people. "Even now, the legendary great witch Bezella is living here in this town. Bezella is the queen of all the witches. She is the one who gives us witches life." The townsfolk punished the witch, and peace was restored to the town once more. To this day, Bezella is still hiding somewhere in the town. But the brave townsfolk will not be beaten by the bad witches. Hooray for indoctrination! Yeah! Who'd have thought there would be a fairy tale about Bezella? She's a mysterious character, all right. So, the first story. I take that to mean the storyteller wrote this, maybe. I don't think it was ever bluntly stated how old the storyteller is. I don't think it's implied that the storyteller was around 100 years ago for the Great Fire. Is the implication here that this storybook is the very first thing the storyteller ever wrote, and it was a story just made for his daughter? Part of me is wondering if this town, all of this, if Labyrinthia wasn't made to be like some sort of playground gift for his own daughter. But if that's the case, why would he write it so that his own daughter is the Great Witch and that she will be burned alive and killed? Why would he do that if this really was some sort of gift, this town? Now, there's more going on here, I think. Tell me, Luke, why do you think the author chose to write about Bezella in a children's picture book? Huh? Well, maybe to make their child behave? Something like, if you don't do as you're told, Bezella will come and get you. Yes, indeed. That is a possibility. Still, I have to wonder. Why is it that some lowly witch was caught, and not the great Bezella herself? Well, I suppose it is a bit strange. If Bezella herself had been caught, this story could have been brought to a more conclusive ending. Do you think there's some other reason? It's certainly a possibility. I don't suppose there are any other handmade picture books in a room apart from this one. Handmade picture books? I don't see any. I guess that must be the only one. Which would imply this book has some special significance. I guess so. After all, it is handmade. I bet she really treasured it. Do you think it was the storyteller who wrote this book? The handwriting does seem very similar to that of the story. This book appears to have been written with a touch more care and attention, but I imagine it was the storyteller who wrote it. He must have written it as a gift from father to daughter. That actually seems really thoughtful, even if the story itself is a little scary. I'd like to take this book to Espella. Yes, let's do just that, Luke. We must take good care of it. Added 2 items. Nice. Well, I guess that's everything. Let's move on. I believe we've seen all there is to see here. Let's press on, Luke. The storyteller's room. Yo. What do you make of this room, Professor? It's not very tidy. This appears to be the very top room of the tower. The parchment lying on the floor here seems very similar to the type on which the storyteller writes his stories. I think we can say with some certainty that this is the storyteller's room. Huh? This is the storyteller's room? I was imagining something a bit grander, like a throne room with all kinds of posh decorations. While I agree that it's a little eccentric, it's unmistakably the study of an author. He probably spent all his time in here, continuously writing these stories. The stories. I wonder what Espella thought of it all. Her father writing stories for all the townsfolk, I mean. I wonder if she looked forward to seeing the new stories completed. Or if she... The stories were probably a little too mature in content for a young child. I don't imagine the storyteller would have shown Espella many of them. But in that case, surely she can't have had many opportunities to even talk to her father, given how busy he was. I guess that means she was pretty lonely. Well, they haven't talked about it in a long time, and I do remember there was mention there was a woman who lived in the tower with the storyteller and Espella at some point. Presumably her mother. It must have been hard for her, even knowing how important those stories are for the people of the town. But I don't think it's right. No child should be unable to talk with their father. I absolutely agree, Luke. I believe it will be important in the upcoming trial to have an understanding of Espella's feelings towards her father. Professor. Knowing you, Luke, I'm sure you must have a lot of things on your mind at the moment. So if there is anything at all you want to talk about, you will tell me, won't you? Of course I will, Professor. I'm always ready to listen, Luke. Now then, shall we start investigating this room? Yes, let's. Whew, well, there's the sun and moon. Wow, there sure is quite a bit of light coming through that stained glass window, huh? I wonder if this is actually the topmost part of the tower. Nothing about the giant-ass planetarium. Is that a fish in that... Is that a... No, that's not a fish, surely. That's just floating paint, right? Yeah, that's not a fish. Well, that's 3 hint coins. Now I can look around freely. From the looks of this room, it appears the storyteller is quite the talented artist. Look, Professor, a photograph. Wait, I didn't think they even had photographs in this town. Wait a second, that's a good point. Indeed, it's not the kind of thing one would have expected to find here.
Too right. I certainly haven't seen any cameras about since we got here. There's no doubt that this is a photo, though. What could that mean?
Oh boy. Huge Attack on Titan flashbacks right now. Maybe because this is a big, giant, walled city. This may be in some way related to the tower being so closely protected. What do you see in the photograph, Luke?
There are 2 children, both young girls.
2 children? Son of a... At first I was like, hey, maybe Espella and Darklaw were just good friends in their child... Wait a goddamn frickin' second! Okay, I'll get to that in a moment, but... No, I was like, maybe they're just good friends, but no. They have matching amulets. The very same 2 used to slot into the bell tower. Espella and Darklaw are sisters. Surely, that's what this implies. They're sisters. They're sisters. Wow. Okay. That really just... Wow, that recontextualizes a lot. Even from the very start, man, with Darklaw appearing in London. Trying to say that... oh god. Okay, well... So that thing in the background, that's the bell tower. The bell tower was supposed to have appeared out of thin air 3 months ago. What is it doing in a photograph from over a dozen years ago? And also, why is it a photograph? What is going on? Oh, we're getting answers. Wait, actually, no. No answers yet, just questions. Just a lot of questions. The photo looks quite old, doesn't it? I wonder who they are. Luke, you dumbass! Well, one of them is surely Espella. There can be little doubt about that.
Hey, you're right. And look at that pendant. It's the same one Espella always wears.
The fact that she's continued to wear it ever since shows just how important that pendant must be to her.
What about this other girl? Do you think she's a friend of Espella's?
Indeed. I'd wager the 2 of them were rather close friends at that.
They do look pretty chummy, alright. See, they even have the same pendant.
A glimpse into Espella's past. This may well prove to be an important clue. I would like to ask her about it face to face. Let's borrow it for the time being.
I wonder if there are any other clues knocking around.
Well, I'd say this something that you thought you saw moving earlier is a point worth pursuing.
But isn't this the last room in the tower? I must have been just imagining things.
Not necessarily, Luke. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a way of getting beyond even this room. Let's look around more closely.
Right you are, Professor.
I don't see anything resembling a way out, but... Papers are strewn about the floor. Strange, it doesn't appear as if they've been written on.
I know it sounds a bit silly, but let's try not to trample all over these papers, okay, Professor?
From the looks of this room, it appears the storyteller is quite the talented artist.
Something about this room really makes it feel a lot like the Professor's study.
I were a secret hidden room, where the frick would I be? I mean, I can move, but... a way beyond this room? Maybe a hidden button on the desk, or... Oh? Hello? Maybe if I input the right notes on the piano, a door will open. Oh, this is... What is it, Luke? This letter on top of the piano. This was evidence during that trial. That trial, my boy? Yes, the trial about Sir Belduke's death. The trial when you were... Ah, you mean when I was turned into gold. In which case, this letter is the one that the storyteller's owl, Hoot, gave us after we last paid him a visit. Well, yes, it is, but that letter was completely blank, wasn't it? Indeed it was. That was meant to be Sir Belduke's suicide note, which he'd addressed to the storyteller. His suicide note, you say? But Sir Belduke's butler swapped the letter for some plain sheets of parchment before it got delivered. And those blank sheets were given to us by Mr. Hoot, who knew something was strange about them. I see. I certainly missed out on some intriguing developments during my absence. Yeah, intriguing is how I... never mind. The real suicide note was revealed at the trial. But how has it ended up here? Well, I imagine that's quite simple, Luke. It's likely that after the trial finished, the letter was returned to its rightful owner. It was addressed to the storyteller after all. Right. I guess that does make sense. I suppose the storyteller finally had a chance to actually read it then. Yes. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that he most likely did so very recently, perhaps even today while sitting at the piano. What on earth was going through his mind here before that final parade? There's something we're not seeing here. We need to investigate this closely, Luke. What could it be? Surely this is not a trap of some kind. It's unlikely that a trap would be so obvious. Just a moment. There is some kind of a puzzle in this piano. Bring it on. I hunger for puzzles. Oh. Let me guess. I need to arrange the notes so that the harp will slide over those symbols as it passes by? Maybe? Below the stained glass window is written, "When the stars have aligned, the goddess shall pluck her harp, bringing forth her serene song. Rearrange the musical notes to create a lovely melody." Oh, I rearrange the notes? Okay. Wait, so what is that flashing on the screen every now and then? Like, I heard the sound effect, something was happening, but what was it? Okay, so... Oh! I see. Alright, so... Ah, crap. I can't write a memo on the top screen, that's what I wanted to do. So let's see. It looks like the highest note is the fourth one. So it's kind of like, let's see. This is the first note here, this star. And there's one higher above it. And then the next one would be even higher, which would be this one. So it looks like it's an even path upwards to the highest point, which would be the fourth one. So now let's look at what's 5 and onwards here. Okay, that looks like a note and then one slightly lower than it, so I think I want to wonder what the last 2 notes are then. So one more loop around, I should get it, hopefully. Oh. Well, okay, the final note is definitely the lowest one, but it looks like the second to last should be a really high note too. Let's have another look here again. Yeah, the second to last note should be way higher than the previous one. Maybe... Let's try this, actually. Yeah, okay, this is looking more like it. I think I overestimated how high the second note should be, so I made a swap. Now I have the second highest note as the second to last, so... I think I got it. Submit.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
Hey! Nice.
The joy of solving puzzles.
I'm actually half surprised I got that right. A loud bang rings through the air as the celestial globe adorning the ceiling begins to move. Oh no way, are we gonna get to the top of this tower the same way we get to the top of the bell tower? Hold on.
Look, Professor! A stairway just appeared. Could there be another room above this one?
Okay, not the same design, but definitely a parallel.
I have a feeling that the rooftop we saw from the garden continues above here.
Oh, I can see what you mean, Professor. It's really dark in here, but moonlight seems to be coming in from up above.
Well, there's no turning back now. The answer to the biggest mystery of all is surely waiting for us ahead.
I think so too, Professor. I wonder what on earth it could be.
The next step in the storyteller's story, if I'm not mistaken.
The next step? But the story has already finished, hasn't it?
Not yet.
Not yet, Luke. It's still a little too soon for the ending.
So bring the suicide note, huh? Interesting. That bastard. That bastard, what an asshole. Oh, unbelievable.
I had a feeling that you, of all people, would make it this far.
It's you!
I thought so. You are still alive.
Professor Layton, I've had enough of your running around, flagrantly contravening the flow of my story. As such, I can no longer ignore your meddling.
Professor!
Man, Layton is not just a protagonist, he is an anime protagonist. Look at that. Oh, hello. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is nice. Hello. All that the storyteller writes is destined to come true. Your opponent's attacks are no exception. Memorize the storyteller's tale and deflect your opponent's predetermined moves. Okay, well, if I didn't have enough reason to hate that man for just faking his own murders so that his own daughter would burn alive for that made-up crime, he's trying to kill Luke too. I saw those sword swings from those knights. That's... Ugh. Someone punched that storyteller in the face. Okay. Memorize the order of their attacks and deflect them using the knight's own moves against them. Touch the attack icons on the touchscreen below in the order that you think they appeared. Once you think it's right, press submit. I'm afraid your role in the story ends here, Professor. Now allow me to write the tale of your demise. The knight drew his blade. As the battle came to a close, he raised his blade overhead and delivered the finishing blow. Oh. I was thinking it would be the text and not the actual motion. This is a memory game. It's Simon Says. I need to restart and see that animation again. I was paying more attention to the words. Oh, you have to be kidding me. Oh, great. Okay. I think it was this order. I think. Oh. Okay. No carrots lost if I fail. Good. Side, overhead, stab, jump. Side, overhead, stab, jump.
Well played, Professor. But how will you fare in this tragic tale?
A new knight stepped in for his fallen comrade. He slashed quickly, delivering 3 blows before finishing the battle with a 3-hit combination attack. Okay. Around, overhead, side, side, overhead, around. Around, side, side, overhead. Wait. Around? Did he not even do the 6th? I don't think he... Wow, my memory's bad. My memory's really bad. Okay. Around, overhead, stab, stab, overhead, around. Around, stab, stab, overhead, around. Crap. Around, overhead, stab, stab, around, over, no? Around, yeah, that way.
Think you worked it out, do you? Let us see if you can predict the ending of this final chapter.
The final knight drew his sword. As he attacked, he began to vanish into thin air, his movements veiled in the embrace of the shadows. Overhead, around, stab, slash, overhead. I already forget the first thing. Oh my god. I'm freaking out because I know people will judge me. Okay, let's see that one more time. Slash, around, overhead, stab, around. Okay, slash around overhead. No, it was stab overhead around jump. Crap. Stab slash stab overhead stab. Okay, stab slash stab overhead stab. Stab slash stab overhead stab. There we go. That should do it, hopefully. Please be the last one.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
Yay, I got full pick carrots for failing horribly.
Puzzles are there to be
Okay,
solved.
I never said I was good at Simon Says, to be fair. In this case, it would seem that the pen is not stronger than the sword. Why are they so electric? Don't tell me they're like robots.
Behind you!
Oh, the biggin. Oh, I know what he's gonna do. Nice. Wait, he fell too? Why would he plan that?
Professor!
Well, now, that was close.
Yeah!
Storyteller, I'm afraid that the power of your pen is no longer absolute.
You never fail to impress me, Professor Layton.
Don't talk to him, punch him!
Just tell me one thing. What exactly are you trying to achieve?
You could say, I'm trying to lift the veil that hangs over the town.
If that is indeed the case, the answer lies in the final story. This very evening, the great witch Bazella will be tried, and all stories will end. You should take your place in the gallery and observe the final trial.
Permit me, if I may, to ask you a question, Mr. Storyteller. Why is it that you are here?
That's a good question.
What?
You too should be watching in the gallery, watching as your twisted story unfolds.
My twisted story? What do you mean by that?
You must surely be aware that your story has already become twisted. Take our arrival in this town, for instance. Not to mention our being here at this very moment. Neither of these things could have happened in the story you wrote. In other words, what I'm saying is that you are no longer the weaver of the tale.
Damn straight. It is as you say. The story I crafted has indeed been twisted out of proportion by someone else's actions. I'm not surprised. Man, okay. Trying to do a gravelly thing and do a deep voice at the same time is hard. I'm not surprised that you realized. It seems nothing passes by those sharp eyes unnoticed. That is exactly why I decided to write the grand finale. To prevent any further distortion. Do you mean to suggest that by ending the story, you could return this town to its original state? To its original state, you say? I'm afraid that is not the case. The entire truth behind Labyrinthia is sealed by a single spell. That's right, the final spell. The final spell, you say? When that spell is invoked, Labyrinthia's true form will become clear to all.
What kind of spell is that?
It is a spell that has always been hidden within plain view.
What's that supposed to mean?
Essentially, the final spell is concealed at the start.
It was somewhere in the first story? The final spell is concealed at the start? What on earth are you talking about?
Bah. I thought you two took it upon yourselves to unravel mysteries, do you not? Do what you will with it.
Very well.
Now then, I believe there's just one thing that you may wish to hear from me. And what would that be?
Firstly, what would you say if I told you that this twisting of your story is leading towards a grand finale quite different to the one you had planned?
What do you mean?
This evening, you supposedly gave up your life to the Great Witch Bezella, did you not? As a result, the person thought to be Bezella is being tried in court at this very moment. Now, if you'll permit me to ask, do you happen to know the name of the accused?
Naturally. I wrote the name myself, there can be no question. Of course, the name of the accused is...
Espella Cantabella.
What are you saying? You mean my Espella is...
Huh? So, like... has no one told him that, like, Espella was on trial, like, a few days ago, too?
Yes, the accused at this evening's trial is none other than Espella Cantabella. That can't be. That's preposterous. This is your doing. What have you done, Layton?
You ask me what I've done, Mr. Storyteller. I am but a solver of puzzles and mysteries. I do not concern myself with scheming.
My Espella? Why? How is she the accused?
Perhaps you ought to go and see for yourself, Mr. Storyteller. Do you think it's a good idea to just stand here lamenting your daughter's fate?
What's to be done?
Well, Mr. Storyteller, I would be returning to the court. I'd like to witness this grand finale with my own eyes. Punch him in the face, tie him up with a rope, and then drag him there and say, hey, the storyteller's not dead, Espella's guilty of no crime. Yes, before I leave, there is just one thing I'd like to make clear. I do not intend to simply take my place in the gallery and observe the trial. Naturally, there is only one place for me to stand in order to unravel all of these mysteries.
You mean to say that you will stand as the defender?
Unfortunately, the defender's position is already taken. Moreover, Mr. Storyteller, I am the one who knows the truth. The true identity of the Great Witch Bezella, that is.
How? How can you know?
There is only one place at which I should stand in order to assert such a fact, and that is not on the side of the defense. Huh? Wait, what?
Surely you can't mean...
I just got a little butterfly in my stomach. Hold on now. I anticipate seeing you again soon, Mr. Storyteller. Hold on. Wait a second. Maybe the title of this game wasn't false advertising. Ooh. Hello. final chapter.
The Last Inquisitor. Ooh.
Court is now once again in session. However, I must say I am quite surprised at this recent turn of events. To see Miss Kira at the witness stand once again, frankly, I cannot believe my eyes. You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch.
That's right. I was there. I saw it. She most certainly was.
Then how is she still alive?
Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die? No, she must have used Dimir and vanished just in time. I say send her straight to the fire. We'll do it ourselves if we have to. Enough. A witch must be in possession of a Tolea Magica in order to use magic. I hate to disappoint you all, but do you see such a thing on her person? I think not.
But she must have. That girl must have used Dimir. Surely you can see that, High Inquisitor.
Dimir is a spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely. And besides, an investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition has concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic.
Huh? Say what? Listen well, Miss Kira. Your existence alone jeopardizes the very peace of Labyrinthia, yet, given the current situation, it is now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw, immediately.
Objection!
That will not be necessary.
What?
This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in a previous trial. What good could come of her testimony?
Oh, I don't know, the fact that she was on the same tower that... Oh, no, God, never mind.
Objection!
But she was found hiding at the crime scene. I'd say that makes her a very important witness. A witness whose testimony we cannot choose to ignore.
High Inquisitor Darklaw, I'm afraid your objection is overruled.
You wish to proceed, then? Very well. Let us see just how much of her story this girl is willing to tell the court, shall we? There's no doubt about it. Miss Kira must have escaped through the passage leading under the Chamber of Fire. Although, from the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that escape route even exists. I wish he'd hurry up and get the hint. I'm dying to take this helmet off already. The top of my head really itches. Sorry, Maya. Take that thing off now when we're as good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer. Aww.
Very well. Witness, you may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today, and why you are hiding at the crime scene.
I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods. I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller.
Wow! She just said it!
As it rained, I waited near the bell tower, next to the vigilantes for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that.
You came here to kill the storyteller?
Yes, that was my task.
Objection!
Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire dragon in the end. That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there is nothing to be gained from this witch's testimony.
Objection!
Now hold on. She was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder the storyteller. The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Darklaw is really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. That means there has to be something there. Huh.
I must admit, I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
This is gonna be good. I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods.
Hold it!
You say you're not familiar with the name Kira. Yes, I've never heard it before.
But I say, that is your name, young lady. Honestly, what witchery is this?
I have no name. I am simply a resident of the Eldritch Woods. Nothing more.
Eldritch Woods? The very same woods said to house the souls of the witches sent to the flames? Are you telling me they really exist?
No matter how you look at her, the Kira up on that witness stand doesn't look like much of a soul to me. Also, why is she high? Her eyes are so red. Why? The girl has lost all memory of ever being a flower seller. That is all. If that's the case, then I wonder if she even remembers our run-in back at the marketplace. Say, Miss Kira, do you happen to remember me at all? No, I do not know you. I first saw you just now at the bell tower. Speaking of that marketplace run-in, just before the pink smoke bomb went off, there was a flash of blue crackling energy, lightning, electricity maybe, some sort of blue energy. The very same kind that all the knights had when they were destroyed on the tower just now. What does it mean? I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller.
Hold it!
Did you just say fire dragon? Yes, it was all a part of my orders. I was told to come here this evening and wait for the right moment when the storyteller would appear before the people. Only then was I supposed to shout out the incantation as loudly as possible. O great beast from the inferno, heed my call, Grandworm. I think Ispella just happened to be standing on the tower, holding the gemstone needed to summon it, but someone else made the incantation. Kira. I believe this bears repeating. The girl does not possess a scepter. It is impossible for her to summon any sort of magical dragon.
Yes, quite right, High Inquisitor.
Oh, that is creative. They hid him. Then why are you hiding underneath the bench, Your Honor?
Yes, well, it is as I thought then. She could not have cast the spell.
I believe I have made it perfectly clear. This girl is not the Great Witch Bezella. Naturally, the Great Witch is... That girl there, Espella Cantabella. There can be no other. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance.
Hold it!
Hold it right there, Miss Kira. You snuck right past the vigilantes? Yes, that's right. My orders at that time were to... The girl is a witch. Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is child's play. Hold on, weren't you just crowing about how there's no Telea Magica in her possession? Come on now. Isn't that right, witness? Yes, that's correct.
Oh, I remember now. Just a few days ago, this girl used that very vanishing spell. Daimir, if memory serves.
Well, what are you gawking at, witness? Continue with your testimony. What was that just now? I could have sworn I just saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that.
Hold it!
Miss Kira, who exactly gave you your orders? I cannot say. And why is that? I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That in itself is an order. How convenient. I am only supposed to carry out my orders. Nothing more. I do not know anything else, and besides, there is nothing more that I can really do. Nothing more she can do?
But hold on just a minute. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not?
I am not a witch.
What did you just say?
She's not a witch, yet she says she came here to cast Granworm. I cannot use magic. She can't use magic? This girl is a witch. Every person in this courtroom knows that as a matter of fact. There can be nary a doubt. Huh. Doesn't look like there's much to work with. Huh. Even though she just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand. Oh man, Nick. You don't think this Kira is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you? Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie? Oh yeah. I guess not, huh? Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back at the trial. I don't think I'm far off, though. This Kira is way different than the old Kira. It looks like she doesn't remember a thing. She is almost like another person entirely. But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here, right now, is the real Kira and the old Kira wasn't? The real Kira, huh? Yeah, and that's why I think I'm bound to find something useful in her testimony. We can do this, Nick. Hope you're ready to slam on some desks, because we're gonna do some serious pressing here. Uh-huh. Well, this is the one that Kira turned pale on when he pressed it. Maybe there's evidence that contradicts this. Maybe it's just as simple as it contradicting the report. Well, this is a problem for future Zephyr, one I might want to use a hint coin on because I need to end this video here. So, yeah, the storyteller. He's alive and ignorant to the true goings-on. He had no idea Isabella is at the fire. Well, I mean, the storyteller was here. Maybe he just couldn't see well enough at the distant figure to recognize his own daughter. I mean, Isabella did have her hood up and all that. But, you think you would recognize the red hood and blonde hair, you know? Well, the storyteller's intentions aside, he's still a friggin' asshole. He tried to kill Layton and Luke. I can't forgive that. Like, wanting to kill Layton is one thing, but Luke's a little kid. How old is he? Hold on. How old is Luke? Oh, we can't see it. It's not relevant. But... So I do think those knights were robots. There were electrical short circuits when they were hit by the swords. That robots do that. I also have to wonder about the bell tower, because what is going on in that photograph? Isabella and a young Darklaw just chilling out holding hands with the same pendants in front of the bell tower that shouldn't exist? Like, I don't even know for sure whether or not Darklaw even remembers. I don't even know if Darklaw knows Isabella is her sister, or at the very least extremely close friend. I have to assume everyone in this goddamn story, except maybe the storyteller himself, has had a complete mind wipe at least once before. Everyone, no exceptions. But why? The bell tower, why was it there? In the photo, it shouldn't have existed. Well, speaking of, the photograph is a photograph from a camera, like a modern-ass camera. It's in color, it's candid, it's like a printed out by what do you even call them? An instant camera? Yeah, I guess an instant camera. And it was on a wall, and look, if Darklaw can head outside of the Historia Labyrinthia to visit London, then I'm sure the storyteller could too. Like, it's not unreasonable to think that this god figure who writes his own story, his own world to play around in, he can leave, he can access the modern conveniences when he wants. I can believe that's how the camera appeared to be able to take that photo in the first place. But what happened? Why was Darklaw seemingly abandoned? There was one bedroom with one single bed. Where did Darklaw sleep? If if she and Espoir really are sisters. Okay, look, we got some answers, but more than enough questions. Too many questions. Well, if there's one thing we can look forward to in the future, it's that I think Layton's gonna play a very playful stance here. I think he's going to take the Inquisitor stand. I think this is gonna end with Layton versus Phoenix going back and forth, trying to disprove each other. But I think it's gonna be from the angle of Layton trying to lead Phoenix into the right conclusion. I feel like Layton wants to help Phoenix earnestly, but he's going to be playful about it. It's what I'm thinking. He wants to put on a show. Oh, man. Well, I have a lot to think over, so in the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.